Is that the first issue you think, Samiran Chakravarti? How would you suggest the government deal with the mounting job crisis?
Well, it's true that some of the data that has come out of this employment survey don't pass the smell test, as we say. So that's definitely something that the government can look into. But I think two broad areas where we have to look for job creation strategies. One is construction sector. If you look at between 2004 to 2011, 48% of non-agricultural employment was created just in construction. That's a sector which is down now badly because of both real estate and infrastructure, and the fact that these are becoming more capital intensive than labor intensive. And the second aspect that we have to look into is that more and more we're probably going to move out of mass manufacturing into mass services. So what kind of mass services sectors we have to promote, like travel and tourism, which will create the jobs for tomorrow? I think these two strategies on construction and mass services, if they are followed well, then we would have a consistent source of job creation going forward. We might dispute today's data, but it is not disputable at all that about 5 to 6 million people will be seeking jobs every year for the next 10 years or so. So we have to create jobs in a large number, whether or not today's unemployment rate is 6% or 4%.
Rajiv Dubey, what's your sense of how the government's new committee intends to deal with the job crisis?
So Rahul, anything we do in the economy, whether it's related to jobs or business or economic growth, GDP growth, we have to have immediate solutions. We have to have short-term solutions, medium and long-term solutions. Many of the things that are being talked about are structural, long-term and medium-term solutions. What we need right now is to put brakes on the economy, which is decelerating still. It hasn't bottomed out yet. 5.8% is not the bottom that we are seeing. So what we need now, for instance, immediately is to create demand in the economy, which is either through cut in tax rates or making borrowing easier, which is to do with banks reducing interest rates. The other thing that we can do is, for instance, immediately we can take up these 6.7 lakh crore of stalled projects in the economy. 6.7 lakh crore, out of which 3 lakh crore are in the private sector, whom you can only nudge. 3.5 lakh crore are in the public sector, which the government can decide on its own what to do with it. It can just push these projects, which can create enough demand in the economy and also ensure that there is some kind of job employment generation also coming through these projects. So there have to be immediate measures, there have to be short-term measures and long and medium term.
Naina Lalkidwai, globally the job debate is around artificial intelligence, machine learning, automation, and how that's impacting labor. Now in India, forget dealing with the real challenges of how, in manufacturing, artificial intelligence, machine learning can come in and disrupt how that manufacturing process undergoes. Here we have a very fundamental debate about whether we like the job data or not, whether we like the unemployment data or not. So tell us, what do you believe should be the roadmap for the Modi Sarkar to be dealing with the unemployment problem?
So Rahul, I certainly agree that economists and all of us have to be comfortable with the job data, but I am really on the same page as Samiran that why should we not look at additional job creation, whatever the numbers be, even while we try and tackle the data. And he took the words out of my mouth when, in terms of the two sectors which I think deserve attention. So it's real estate, and therefore construction, which is a real mess right now, needs immediate attention. We need to absolutely look at the potential India has for tourism and replicate the enormous success of Kerala and Rajasthan across the country, and do that through building of hotels, restaurants, and the entire infrastructure of roads that go with attracting tourism. And as you well know, tourism is a very labor-intensive industry, and the enormous potential therein of jobs. I would just add a third one, which I didn't hear mentioned, which is agriculture. And our ability to increase agricultural productivity will in turn drive demand. And you well know that through many a year, we have had rural demand as a great mainstay for demand generation. And my own view is that this would happen better not through increasing the minimum support prices, which is an immediate fix when there is farmer distress, and it was clearly used in important election years, but really look at improving the way we are able to export agricultural products. And we have seen how, whether it was research with Pusa Basmati on the one hand or sugarcane, we were able to enhance export. So if we can look at agricultural export, the entire supply chain which goes with supporting it, bring in therefore farmer productivity, farmer profitability, we will generate demand on the one hand, and on the other very critical trade deficit resolution through export promotion.